well. Pro Stock Motorcycle, this is round one. We start out with Arana Jr. and Angie Smith.
And Angie goes red by 0.8 of a second, handing the win over to Hector Arana Jr., who takes it down through there with a 6.90 elapsed time at 192 miles per hour to advance to the next round.
And before this round started, Dave Reef caught up with Eddie Krawick, a Harley motorcycle rider.
With 3 different makes of motorcycles, Pro Stock Motorcycle already has great stories. You got the Suzukis, you've got the Buells, and of course, you've got the Harley Davidsons. But the term Screaming Chicken, while it may not be new this year, it seems like it's come up again to describe the efforts of Andrew Hines and Eddie Krawick. And guess what? It's something the guys are taking a little bit of umbrage with. So, Eddie, how do you put something like that aside in your first round matchup today?
All I got to say is all these guys out here, and girls, better have brought big enough guns to shoot these screaming chickens out of the skies, because you know what? We came here to fly, and nobody's going to stop us.
Words have been put down. Eddie Krawick, Steve Johnson, Andrew Hines, Jerry Savoie coming up in Pro Stock Bike.
Yeah, speaking of those two, here's Hines and Savoie right now. More trash talking?
Well, they're dead even off the starting line. No real advantage there. Better bike should get the win. Good race, but Andrew Hines pulls it out. A 6.91 elapsed time, just gets by Jerry Savoie, 6.93.
Here's Jim Underdahl on the Suzuki and Michael Phillips on his Suzuki.
Oh, good reaction times for both riders, but look at Jim Underdahl. Got the bike launched and just never looked back. 6.94, 193 miles per hour to advance him into the next round. And on board, that was a pretty nice run. Not much tire slippage in the low gear, unlike Michael Phillips, and that was the reason Jimmy's advancing to the second round.
And so that will bring up Chip Ellis. Made it to the semis at Indy, but missed getting into the top 10. He goes against Sean Gann on the Buell.
Good reaction times for both riders. Good race, but Sean Gann pulls it out with a nice pass. 6.91, 192 miles per hour to advance him into the second round.
Andrew Hines been looking for the combination to get solidly down the racetrack, and you may have quieted your opponents in some of the trash talking that's been going on with that 91 pass.
Yeah, you know, those guys, they've been starting a little stuff here and there on the internet and in person, and, you know, I'm just glad this Screaming Eagle finally got to eat some alligator, and it tastes like chicken.
This is not going away. Well, here's Hector Arana, who won here in 2009 over Karen Stouffer, and he faces Michael Ray. That's the Matt Smith champion bike from 2007.
And look at Michael Ray getting his first round win as Hector Arana had problems as soon as he let the clutch out. Michael runs a nice 6.92 at 191 miles per hour to advance him.
And that, again, is one of those things you can't have happen if you're in the countdown. Eddie Krawick, number 1 in the points, faces Steve Johnson, who can only be a spoiler.
Look at Eddie Krawick fly. Nice job. Look at that. 6.83 at 196 miles per hour to advance him.
Justin Finley, his first race at Charlotte, debut season Pro Stock motorcycle, and he draws Karen Stouffer on the Suzuki, third in the points.
Justin had the advantage off the start line, but look at Karen drive around. Wow, 6.82.5, 195 miles per hour. That's low ET of the meet and ties the quickest Suzuki run ever.
Let's go to John Kernan.
Brandon Bernstein back in the pits getting ready for a second round matchup against Larry Dixon. Just a couple hundred slower than him in the first round of eliminations, so could be a pretty good matchup, right?
Yeah, it should be a great drag race. You know, our Copart Mac Tools team, you know, really has it running great right now. Sun's coming out, though, as you can kind of see on my head here, so it's going to be a little bit different, you know, atmospheric conditions and everything coming up second round, I have a feeling, but hey, we'll be ready for him.
It's a little bit easier to see the sun shining off his head since he got his hair shaved.
I think he looks good. Matt Smith, that's a Buell. Ellie Tonglet, a Suzuki. Ellie won here last year over Andrew Hines.
Ellie, your defending full throttle champion. But look at Matt Smith go. 6.83 at 193 miles per hour.
Smith, the champion in 2007. Pro Stock Motorcycle ladder sets up this way going into the second round. 2 in the countdown. Craywick and Arana Jr. will face one another, and Michael Ray and Sean Gann will face one another with no countdown implications.
Other side of the ladder, we got 4 countdown contenders. Matt Smith will have lane choice over Andrew Hines, and Karen Stouffer will have lane choice over Jimmy Underdahl.
So